Hello, Mr. Nygren here. Welcome back to Hyrule Total War Classic Ultimate, myself and Nephilim's mod, or Ice Cream Man's mod, Hyrule Total War. It's based on the December 2014 release. Okay, so we're about to fight the battle. We're playing the River Zora campaign. We're about to fight the battle of Xebo, Subrosian area. We are controlling General Maxai of the River Zora and a bunch of generic generals. Course, Socksack and Calcotocket, and then we have Archduke Nailit, which is a custom general like Maxai. And then we are backed up by Captain Socksack. So Maxai has the main army of 2424 River Zora, and Captain Socksack has additional troops of 1663 men. And Maxai's army also consists remnant troops of Storm Zora. He is himself a Storm Zora. The enemy is led by Rosa the Harsh. She has 1200 Subrosian troops. Okay, and we will control all the armies manually, I think. Maybe not. Could probably let the army... No, we will control everything manually. Maybe if they are AI control, they will be able to route. We'll have partial manual control, I think. Then Archduke Nailit's special hero ability won't work on the allied troops. Well, I think we will still let them be AI controlled. Balance of power. Army strength ratio 4-1 in our favor. Let's fight the battle on the battle map. Deployment. Let's click on that advisor. So we can use the Kamak mod, backspace and end. Now we need to, of course, change the camera mode, the Total War camera, and then backspace and end. Now it works. So we need to click on the advisor, and then we need to click on, we need to have the camera mode on Total War camera, and then click the advisor first, then the camera mode, and then backspace and then end. Okay. Don't need a RAM. Start the battle. They had a lot of cavalry. The enemy. Send the Vipers against the cavalry. Can also use the mage. We'll use our army first. They have better morale thanks to the hero. Archduke nail it. He has the hero ability manipulate. Units you control no longer flee and fight to the death. So you lose control of them until the effect dissipates. Here are the allied troops. You don't want to send them in the beginning of the battle. You only send them in if the first army fails. Will be a backup force because they have worse morale due to not having the hero ability. Hero ability of Archduke Nail it only works on the player's army, not the AI army. It might work on the AI army if he is in the AI army, but not otherwise. He needs to be in the army for it to work. It doesn't work on allied troops. Right, the Vipers will fight their cavalry until they have been spent. Didn't have a lot of them left because we restored only very few of them. After the previous battle of Zola, we had the Subrosian excavators managed to kill them. They killed all of them, and then we managed to somehow save some of them. Fuck. Firing at will. Fire at the ones furthest from our troops. It's because the Subrosian excavators had effective against armor, but these guys also have that, so they can. The armor doesn't matter against the troops. Need our mage to take them out as many as possible. We've taken out almost all their cavalry now. Very good. 54% kill of the enemy. We only lost 1%. The Vipers. The mages are really effective. The Stormbringers of the Storm Zora. Very long range too, as we've seen previously. Kill a lot of Moldorm swarms too, and a lot of troops. I don't believe that their hero Rosa the Harsh is dead yet. Excavators should be here somewhere, unless she's dead. Or knights, only one alive there. Cavalry. Maybe the leader is dead. Rosa the Harsh. She should be somewhere on the battlefield. She's not dead. I don't remember that I got the message. Maybe I just clicked on it to disappear without reading it. She had an all-night bodyguard, the black ones. I would guess that she's dead somewhere. She's a unique model. Saw her in the Kingdom of Hyrule campaign previously. Like 8 days ago. Campaign that I will need to restart. We took out the cavalry. Let's attack those guys. They are numerous. I can't see her, so maybe she's dead. Kill 71% now thanks to the mage. Really effective unit. Okay, so this was easier than I had thought it would be, thanks to the mage. The other army had a lot of raiders and manhunters. Really need better troops than the raiders and manhunters. Can currently only recruit these troops. Then I've gotten a few Geosards that spawn with a hero, I believe, and one unit of Swampman too also spawn with a hero. We need more of these guys and less of the raiders and manhunters. Really need like cavalry or ranged units. The mages and the vipers, we can only get them from Fort of Wings, and we lost it to the Lizard Foss. So currently we do not have any vipers because we have lost them. Okay. Try to take those guys out. The mage. Disable skirmish mode. Learn to fire. So yeah, we can only get these guys from Fort of Wings, and any other faction can also get them from Fort of Wings, so most of them at least. Shit. We're supposed to fire. I will have to move them away from there. Manhunters over there. Maybe it's not needed to fire them from this place, from this position. Good, they're firing again. Kill them all them swarms. They're quite numerous. Yeah, the mages in the game are kind of OP, overpowered, but we don't have too many of them. Only get them from one area. So. Can't have any of the Moldrum swarms alive. Okay, let's attack those guys now. Excavators, Subrosian excavators. A version without overpowered units would be fun too, where there are no like Storm Zora Vipers or mages or Ulvarians, etc. Where all the OP units in the early game are removed or unavailable to recruit. Could be enemies but not playable. But in late game they are not that good. There are, I mean, they are like elite, like any other elite unit in the late game. But in the early game they are a little bit too much for the early armies of other factions. Ah, there is Rosa, leader of Subrosia. And the 2 are alive per unit. Kill the troops first. To be honest, I could stop them from firing. And order the allied army to enter. Subrosia is like Rosa is alone. Kill 99%. There are 2 Subrosian excavators, 1 there, 2 units, and 1 Ore Knight, so only remnants. Okay, what about our ally? Looking good. Started to move. They're manhunters and raiders. These troops won't be able to hold much against elite armies, so we need better troops as soon as possible. Otherwise we'll lose everything we gained. I think we will probably recruit the Crown-Rich Gorons so that we can defend against the Listfoss when they have Vipers. So these are the Geosards. Same unit as the general, just without the armor. Shield and axes. Shields and axes. a while. Let's zoom in on our hero. Mag's Eye. And fast forward on. Can only fast forward when we have zoomed in on the unit. When we have... I might be wrong about that. We are not using the third person mode after all. Okay. We're moving around the settlement. Took a while for them to move in. See troops over there. More troops should come from that side. Yeah, they're moving in over there. Manhunters for the bridge. Then there are troops coming here too. Already taken the plaza. Yeah, this battle would have been much more difficult if I didn't use the mage. And the Storm Zora units are 4.6 units, so they weren't really intended for this version of Hyrule War. And without them, I believe it would have had a more difficult time getting this far into the campaign. We would probably still have been able to do it, but it would have been more difficult. Kill Rosa, won the battle. Rosa the Harsh of Subrosia, the Subrosian faction. We won the battle, clear victory. So Mag's army killed 1186 of the Subrosians. We lost only 26. Captain Stocksack lost 2, killed 14. And Rosa the Harsh had 1200 Subrosians, lost all of them, 0 remaining alive, killed 22 for troops. The mage managed to kill most of their army. Okay, battle statistics, Xebo 56 after Ganon. Yeah, Stormbringers killed 1121 men, and the General Spodgard, Max Elder of the Temple, killed 56. No, 58. Okay. So we need to invade the Oocca lands before we go to Subrosia, because if the Oocca become too strong, they will be very, very difficult to defeat. It's better to take their areas before they become too strong. Okay, let's bang a few heads. End of turn report. So we have the strongest military, the Oocca has the best financial situation, the Gorons have the best production, and the largest population, and overall the Lanayur province is the strongest faction. Enemy army routes, Mag's Eye of the Storm Zora. Alright. See the game. Someone tried to replay anything. embassy. Destroy the wall. Destroy the market building too. Recruit a diplomat and build a small supply lines. Okay. I don't think you need 4 of the Vipers. We'll disband them in favor of the Geosards here. Okay, and this whole army can move. Can't move much this turn. See. Okay. These generals can join the main heroes. Very good units. The mage could also join the heroes. Some of the raiders. You want to move out. Peruda can't too. Good. Send a manhunter unit there. And then we'll move out. Need to move out something here. Move back a raider unit. Peruda can will be moved into this army. Manhunter unit here. Can't move much this turn. Okay. Small supply lines. Let's go for them. Satoke village. And we are out of money. Let's just end the turn. Okay, Laruto Guardian Maiden spawn for the Lanier province on turn 31. Faction destroyed, the Sheikah have been destroyed. I checked the map without recording and they had lost all their areas to the Gorons, they lost Rico to the Gorons, but they had us really outside of the Zora, an ally of theirs, an army, fully sized army. But it seems they lose if they do not take an area in a few turns, and I believe they can't move without settlement, so that's why they were destroyed. Had an entire army and an own general. They had no areas. Gorons took the area when they were outside of the settlement. Diplomatic information. The following factions are now at war with each other. The Gorons have declared war on the undead Stalfos. The following factions have declared that they are allies. Goma and the Lanier province. The following factions have declared a truce to the Lanier province and the Stalfos, the undead. The following factions have become client kingdoms, abandoning their independence and sovereignty. The Lanier province and the Goma. So the Goma have become a client kingdom of the Lanier province. They have surrendered to the Lanier province. Okay, agent recruited. We have a new diplomat. I believe in Xebo. Send the diplomats towards Horon. Send this one. Undead Stalfos. Oh, we have Detail here. The Mauler. He liked the unity info card. He was an Hyrule Historia. A Hyrule. Sorry. He was a Hyrule Historia general. We have Stalkin. Stalfos Lisso. Staldra. Stalfos Urdi. Fallen Skull Kids and Stallhounds. Stallhounds are cavalry. And the rest are infantry. Construction complete. Medium supply lines. All notch. You can also go for large supply lines. That will be good. We'll do that. We need that. So we can get better troops there. Upgrading settlements everywhere. Set K village. We can recruit some troops. Same in Lina City. And in Symmetry. We're out of money. Should have a diplomat somewhere. Besides this one. Oh, I got in the underground entrance now. Subrosian entrance allows travel between here and another underground entrance passageway into the Subrosian underworld. So you want to go there, but not now. You want to first move towards the Oocca. Go down here. There's a Horonian diplomat. Oh, another diplomat here. Over there. Can't do much. We'll end the turn. Russians want ceasefire. Well, I don't think we want ceasefire with them. Horonians want alliance. Trade rights we will accept. If it lasts for 10 turns, we will actually have them assimilated to our faction. We will gain their areas on the map and their troops and their heroes. It will be nice. Same would happen with the Subrosians, the Tuki, the Husky's Remnants and the Suna. If we ally them for 10 turns, they're unlikely to accept proposals of alliances, even though they are more likely to accept on very easy difficulty on the campaign than if we played on a harder difficulty, but they're still unlikely to accept. It's better if they come to us, like the Horonians did here. Dramatic information. The following factions have declared that they are allies, the Horonians and the River Zora. The following factions have declared truce, the Subrosian and the Horonians. Relations improved, Horonians good. Strongest faction, the Darkness Legion. End of turn report. Darkness Legion is the strongest military now. summon River Zora units. So new River Zora units somewhere here. Still just manhunters and raiders. At least we get some new troops to add to this army. But diplomat we can move up. Hire mercenaries here. Do it. Gear Maceman. 127 Gear Maceman in a unit. 7 attack, 3 charge bonus, 7 defense, 1 hit points that you can take before dying. Description. Once part of the Lissalfos race, Gear Maceman migrated north and east instead of to the south with most of their brethren. Their physical differences are very minor, though their culture is very different. Gear do not live in villages and do not build empires. Instead they roam lands in groups and earn their living fighting in wars for others, so they are mercenaries. They do not have very good morale, but they are better than nothing. We have upgraded a bunch of settlements. Noon is now a town. Orlara is a large town. We have a bunch of supply lines, small supply lines in the Satuke village, in Holly, in Exolin, in Xebo. Yeah. Okay. I'll speak to the Subrosians. They want ceasefire. Yeah, they did want it. And then alliance. Okay. Let us cease. Speak to them. Can't speak to the priest. Okay. Speak to Lissalfos, I guess. Someone else. Kokiri. Trade rights. Map information. They didn't accept. Oh, they did accept. We got their map information. So this is the settlement of Balnogro. Here area. We have 2 generals. Eldo and Fakaria, they are near generals. They have their capital, the Grove, and they have the forest temple. Sacred forest meet over there. 3 areas on the map. So they are not the strongest faction in the game currently. Relations worse and Oocca poor. Okay, we have money, so we need to build some stuff. Here we'll go for the small supply lines. Next Xebo. Satuke village, we'll go for the medium supply lines. We're out of money, which means we will just end the turn. Hurry up with getting the best supply lines so that we can get better troops than the raiders and the manhunters. We don't want only the basic troops, and the others start having their elite troops. End of turn report. We are back at being the strongest military in the world. Strongest faction, yeah. Construction report. Zola is upgraded into a large town, and the Oocca village is now a city. The Notch has large supply lines, very good. Then we need troops there. We have large supply lines here, but we can't recruit the troops out of Summon River Zora units max available to large city. It says we are supposed to be able to... we need a large city. We need to upgrade this then. Otherwise we can't recruit any units. You see. Here we are upgrading to large town, Crown Ridge. Summon River Zora units. What level? Small supply lines. Need a town for that. And we do have a large town. We can go for this here. Small supply lines in Yall. Small supply lines here too. Metropolis. Town. Let's upgrade that one too. Noon. Town. We have a town. We'll upgrade that. Medium. So town is needed. Sit for this. Okay. We can go for some troops in Orlara. Go for some troops. Xebo too. Okay. See where we have some troops recruited. We'll send the troops to areas that border our enemies. And we could use more Crown Ridge Gorons. We have a unit of rock shamans. We need the Gorons so we can defend against vipers and others. So manhunters and raiders won't be strong enough. Send these troops to Symmetry. We have a Zora diplomat here, an enemy. Sell full notch. You're out of money. Can move again. Speak to Subrosians. Lions. Didn't want it, okay. Speak to Oocca. Trade rights. Map information. They accepted. See Oocca on the map now. So they have these units. These have been nerfed. They're not that good. But their goddess units are still good, and their commandants and the Walker cannons. So you need these two areas to win anyway. And an area over here. So we'll take them. Relations worse and the Oocca very poor. Attack. Okay, we declared war on the Oocca, but the Horonians broke their alliance with us. That wasn't good. And they won't assimilate into our faction. I didn't expect them to break the alliance. Yeah, it makes sense that they may pick the side of the Oocca. They were allied to the Oocca first. Okay. Let's end the turn. You need to attack the Oocca and take their areas before they become too strong. This is the only Twili area in Hyrule. Outside of the Twilight Realm. It's the same settlement as Valor and the capital of Prince Zant or King Zant. We'll take it. It's pretty good actually. It has walls and gates. Okay, end of turn report. We are number 1 military and we are number 2 overall. Crown Ridge is now a large town. Xebo has a small supply lines constructed and Satake village medium supply lines. Okay. Oh, some troops. Horonians again. They're still allied to Oocca. So we can't ask for an alliance. Move in here. Have some money now. Pretty rich thanks to the Subrosian areas. Okay. So we have the small supply lines. We need to upgrade this to city then. City. Same here, but we don't have the money currently. Large city. Here we really need a city too. Some trails. Okay, that's it. Now we will attack in this area. Captain Oocca Jr. of the Oocca is holding the settlement of Sand Crab Cove. One of the settlements that you need to win the game. You need to hold it for 5 turns at least. Captain Oocca Jr. 388 Oocca. Have the Democrat emissaries. And then they have the Democrat surveyors and the Democrat scouts. They have been nerfed. They have worse defense than in the past. Okay. Balance of power 25 for in our favor thanks to their units being nerfed. They used to have like 22 or 17 or something defense in the past. Now they have way worse defense, these 3 units. Okay. I believe I gave them same stats as their Majora counterparts. Our ally will be directly controlled by us because they have heroes. Okay, let's start the battle. Probably used to save, yeah. I think I did, but we'll save again in case the save is corrupted or something. We'll fight this battle, the battle map. It's not good if they have too many areas. The Oocca, they need to also raise the religious level there with their priest. Otherwise, they can't recruit troops there. You can see this is same settlement as I believe Valran, if I'm not wrong. Sand Capital. They built the same settlement here. They needed an area in Hyrule. It needed to have walls. Otherwise it would be taken before the garrison script could spawn. It's the same settlement as Valran. The only toilet area in Hyrule. Okay. Let's start the battle. We do actually need to use the rams here, but we don't want these units to use them. Let the gear macemen use them. Hurry up. Send in the gears first. Raise their mercenaries. Reinforcements King Sarusef. I don't know where they are now. Let's hurry up. Getting the ram. I will destroy the gate. I don't think we'll need the other ram. Can stop that unit from grabbing it. Okay, we have Demon scouts here. If I hadn't nerfed them, they would probably have had a better chance of winning. I don't believe they would have won, but I think they would have killed at least a third of our total army strength. Now they will not be able to do much. Their late game units are still really strong, so we need to stop the Oocca from expanding too much. So they need to take areas, then they need to have their priest outside until they reach like 96 in religious level for the goddess worship faith or Catholic faith in the code. And then they can recruit their other units, and their goddess units and Democans commandants and such, Oocca commandants, they are still overpowered. So we don't want them to have those units, especially not an army of them. I believe the emissaries were bugged, so they couldn't really kill anyone. But the scouts and the surveyors are good units. Now they are just basic units. The surveyors can fire a beam too, so they are more deadly than the scouts. They are just melee. These are the gear macemen, mercenaries. Okay, we will let them destroy the gate. This settlement is actually worth it to keep as well, but we will border the Zora, so we probably lose it. The important thing is to remove the Oocca. We can retake this area later. In the late game, we are too weak to fight the Zora's domain. The Zora. We are not too weak to fight the Oocca because they are really weak in the beginning of the game. They have hardly any troops. Good. Gate is out. Is there The American emissaries, they are fast, the counter-slight infantry. Send in the rest of the gear macemen. Don't believe the emissaries can even kill anyone. They are worthless. Just cool. Fast. Yeah, it doesn't look like they've killed a single one for gear macemen. Their animation had the same bug as the old stall hounds. They can't really kill anyone. Maybe they can kill in a charge, but certainly not in a prolonged melee fight. It's the late game Oocca units we do not want to fight. Like the Oocca commanders and the Volker cannons and any of the goddess units, the Cavalians, the the other units of the Oocca. The 3 units they have here are not that good, especially not this unit. But the scouts can actually fight. You can see that they have 7 attack, 2 charge bonus and 11 total defense, 1 hit points. Combat bonus in woods, excellent morale, can't hide, they have good morale. Excellent morale actually, but yeah, they are not that good anymore. They used to be way better than when they had like 19 or 17 in defense. They can actually fight back the scouts, so they will kill a few for gear macemen. The rest of the gear arrived, Let's group them. Kill their captain, Oocca Junior, the Oocca. They're numerous too. This unit, the scouts, are also used as their soldier model on the map, and their merchant and their spy. Well, their commandant is used as their priest and their general and their inquisitor. We are winning this battle. We have a 3rd unit, the surveyors, I believe. Could be wrong about the name. They are better. They can fire a beam. Otherwise, they are similar to this unit. The American surveyors, yeah, they are more dangerous. Only 87 of them. It's a 4.6 unit, unlike the other 2. That are all units. 2 melee attack, 1 charge bonus, a really bad melee attack. Total defense 8. 1 hit points, can hide anywhere, excellent morale, can fly. But so they can move over bodies of water, but they have 8 missile attack, and they're really it's pretty good missile attack. Use Archduke Nailit's ability, so they won't flee from the battle. That will give them unlimited morale for a short time. If they break, we'll just use it again to stop them from routing. Really, they can't route, but we can use it to stop them from running away. It's not as good as the hero ability of Zelda, where they fight to the death and never break. can break, but every time you use the hero ability they will stop running away, but there is a cooldown too. So you need to click it a lot, unlike with Zelda where her army automatically fights to the death, and there is no like routing as you use it, so her ability is of course better. They fled, they're broken. Attack the surveyors now. We don't want them to fire at us, we'll have our troops in loose formation as well. Here is their plaza, their banners, Oocca banners. Treated with some emissaries here. So this settlement was the best defended. Twili settlement, the only one with walls. The other three didn't have any walls, you could just walk in. Well, this one had walls and gates, which is why it was chosen. Killed almost all the scouts now. Yeah, they are not that strong anymore. It's the late game units that we are worried about. These units are not that good either. Melee, it's their beam that is dangerous. And we killed 80% and lost 3%. Okay. We only used the mercenaries as of yet. Oh, they fired the beam. See that there is like flames from where it hit. They do not use it too often. They kind of prefer melee, but when they fire it, it's pretty deadly. We've won almost. We won the battle against these guys. Yeah, surveyors are dead. We need to kill the emissary. The emissary is at the center. One of the Germanismen had fled. They also have some scouts here. Kill them first, they can actually fight. This unit is kind of worthless, but it looked cool. Wanted to use it as their diplomat if they were going to have a diplomat, but it was too complex. It had a lot of weird bones and such. They decided against it in the end. It was more complicated than other four-legged creatures. It had way more bones with different names. It was confusing. Kill them. Okay, now it's just these guys remaining. Killed 99%, lost 3%. So this was an easy battle. I didn't want Oocca to have OP units in the beginning of the game. It's a bit boring that the Vipers were so OP too in the beginning. It's fine if they are OP in the late game, but not the Oocca because they are too OP. But the Vipers are fine in the late game. There are many other factions that have similar units in the late game, just not in the early game. They were superior to most enemies. Should be a problem when the AI recruits them as the list first two. We won the battle. Clear victory. She lost 132 of the Germaismen. We killed 344 of the enemy, took 44 prisoner. We killed all of them. Captain Acco Jr. 388 Oocca. Lost all of them. 0 many. We killed 155 of our troops. Battle was Sand Crab Cove. Settlement was Sand Crab Cove. 64 after Ganon. Okay. If you're unlucky, they will call a cleansing against one of our areas, maybe Luna City, the capital of Librina, that we have conquered. And all the cleansing armies will show up there. It wouldn't be too good. I will bang a few heads. Relations worse in the Oocca Abysmal. Let's say the game, in case it would crash. And army routes, Mag's Eye will destroy the Twili buildings here, other buildings. Maybe not excavate ruins, we might be able to get some good troops through the army statues and such. Can also go for the small supply lines here. Will of course lay siege to this area next. Can attack immediately. Have a general, that's not good. Save the Oocca Commandant's border guard. Okay, that wasn't too good. Leave a unit of manhunters there. Attack with both armies. We need this area to Mothulus. It has the same settlement model as Fort of Wings. Sand Crab Cove used to have it, but I changed that because I needed something with a gate for the garrison script. Otherwise the Zora or the fairies or anyone else would be able to invade the Twilight faction before the garrison script would activate. You needed one turn for it to activate, and if it was a village like this settlement, it could attack immediately, so it wasn't good. We will I think we will attack with the same army. We will save the game. This unit should be more difficult to defeat. 125 Demogorgon Commandants, bodyguard units. Attack 10, 2 charge bonus, 24 total defense. They still have their OP defense. 2 better than the Vipers, who had like 22. Abilities at a glance. Inspires nearby. Inspires courage in nearby troops. Frighten nearby enemy. Excellent morale. Can't hide. So yeah, they are strong. Fight this battle on the battle map too. So generic general with a medieval vanilla portrait. It's probably an adopted general. Someone they have gotten when they have won a battle. After a battle. You can get generals when you win battles too. Okay. So the Kamek mod is on. Start the battle. Have the General Maxa here. Could use him to take out the unit. He's a mage. This is the bodyguard unit of the Oocca faction. Demogorgon Commandant's bodyguard. It's an animal handler unit. There's only space for 2 animal handler units in the game. and for some reason this unit bugged out the second slot, so you needed to remove two old ones. You gotta remove the Hawkman, Odonian Hawkman, and the Odonian Headman with goats in favor of this unit. And I added the Hawks and the War Wagons instead from 4.6. Let's attack with the mage. And we will attack with Gear Amazement too. Spend them first. Alright. Don't want it to take too long. Let's fast forward. Send in the Gear Maceman in case they would charge the mage unit with the animal handler. Like golems. Didn't want to risk the mage. There's be some kind of glitch in the water. Kind of blinked. Weird way, an odd way. This is Mothulus, and I even need to hold for 5 turns too in order to win. Okay, we can stop the Gear Maceman. Don't want them to enter unnecessarily. They will be hit by the mage. Yeah, they are firing at him. Taking out a few. Prefer taking these guys out from afar, because they are really strong in melee. Might defeat a bunch of our units, maybe all of the Gear Mace would be defeated against these guys in a melee. Might be able to take out all of them. Fast forward on. Golem seems to have a knockback on their handlers. That's why they fall to the ground sometimes. Why this unit entered melee? It's just a waste of our Gear Amazement unit. Use the hero ability of Mag's Eye. Yeah, they are really good in melee. Better than the Vipers. So I wanted to take them out with the mage, but the mage stopped firing for some reason. And the animal handler golems run away from the actual handlers. You can fight far away from them. They are controlled by the AI in a way that you can't really control them. The handlers are the ones controlled by the player if you control the unit. Well, the golems, they attack on their own. Okay. Didn't really want to send in the rest of them. Send in all of them then. I will also use Archduke Nailit's ability. Now he's moved over here. Don't like that he had skirmish on. Want to move these guys back, and then we need to fire on the golems. Not like that, of course. One of the gear mates will need to fight that unit. They don't attack the mage. All of them will attack that unit. There are two, I believe. They are really OP, which is why we need to destroy the Oocca. Or they get an army of these guys. Now the results, they seem to lose against the Dark Knight Legion, but in real time I believe they might be the stronger faction if they have like a lot of these guys and other OP units. Need a mage to actually attack their units over here. This custom settlement is the actual capital model for the Storm Zora manufacturing in 4.6. It's like settlement in use by intended for these guys, Stormbringers and the Vipers and the Tide Runners. They're similar colors too. Used it for, I believe, 3 areas on the map. Oh, they are not firing. Rotate. So over there. Firing. No idea where are not firing. good, finally. Exactly what we wanted. Only way to kill them off easily without a lot of losses. Only 19 remaining. Their unit killed Coco Junior. Good. Their general. We got 2 messages, but it was 1 general. Kill the final ones there. 13 of them. The General Magpie here. Lead Elder of the Tempest, Magpie. Leader of the Storm Zora. Okay. Try to attack them again. Doing anything for some reason. Maybe they need kind of better aim, better sight, line of sight. Right ahead, start to fire. Oj. Okay, let's send in the Gear Maceman then. Guys back. Armies will take out the final ones. There are not that many now. Suspect they have a general hero here in the Sky City too. We'll need to kill the same bodyguard as this one. Could be Lier or it could be Oocca Commander. The Moku is not in Hyrule. He is outside of Hyrule. You can't kill him anymore. In all the versions he was in Hyrule. I removed him. Just the game would crash if he died, and there we have no other character able to become the next Pope. Unless they are immortal if we do not have them killed in battle. In other words, they can't die due to old age. It's better to have him outside of Hyrule so he's never killed. That way that crash won't happen. Killed 83% and lost 4% to our troops. These commandants are really slow. The golems are fast, but the handlers are really slow. Can only walk, even when they run. Killed another one there. Okay, 86% killed, 4% lost. I think there are more over here. Send all the gear macemen there. We were hired to handle the Oocca troops or units. It's better to waste. Here we are quite strong. Stop them and move the mage there. Would like to take him out with the mage. Here Mason will take them out then. So we lost 5% of the army, killed 94% of the enemies and the unit. They only had one unit, so pretty good. Take out 5% of our army, the other entire army. A lot of hits for dying. A lot of defense. There she died. I think we have won. 100% kill, 4% lost. We restored some units. Okay, so we lost 201 units out of 2,324. 2,123 remaining after the battle. Enemies killed 63. Clear victory. King Sarasef had 2,469 men. Didn't partake in the battle. Oocca Junior 63. Democans commandant's bodyguard. And killed 132. 0 remaining. Details. The mage killed Magsai, Elder of the Tempest. The mage bodyguard of the Storm Zora. They killed 45 of the enemy. And then had some kills by the gear macemen too, not too many. The mages killed most of the enemy. Battle took place at Mothulus, 64 after Garen. Alright, so we've taken 2 areas that we need to take in order to win the game. And now they go down to 1 area. Sky City. So we only had 3 areas, as far as I saw when I checked the map. I wanted to see where Queen Midna was, but I couldn't see her anywhere. So she was probably deleted when the faction got destroyed. And has probably spawned for the Labrina regime as a result. Like she should do if she's dead for the Labrinians. We'll bang a few heads. Then we'll save the game. After which we'll destroy a few buildings. Oh, we have an armor here. Destroy the temple of the goddesses. Can retrain troops here. That's perfect. We have no manhunters here. They're the wrong units. Okay. Let's see, we have an armorer. Great armor lamellar, capable of upgrading melee weapons of +3. Good. Okay, excuse me. Hire a few more to get a maceman. Move over there. Move in with this army instead. Cost to retrain 135 rupees. 3 upgrade armor lamellar. I'm not sure if that's good enough. So you have the armor upgrade. Could be good enough. I'm not sure. Let's try it. We'll have to wait here. We want all the manhunters to be upgraded, including Zola. I'm not sure if the hero can be upgraded. She has a bodyguard of manhunters, but I'm not sure. Could try it. She should be first. Can also go for the small supply lines there. Can destroy the mines. They give plus 600 gold, so maybe not. Okay. All notch. Large city. Can't recruit anything, we need a large city, okay. Just go for dirt roads there. Here we can go for bastions and bracers. Ton. Okay, let me go for that. And we'll end the ton. Goron seem to have taken an area from the Stalfos. According to the map, when I looked at it, it was the Huskies that took it from the Stalfos, so the Gorons have taken it from the Huskies, I think. An area that is held by the Stalfos from the beginning, Zora area. Held by the Gorons now. Right, end of turn report. You have the strongest military still. Your province is the strongest faction overall. Even we have small supply lines constructed in all natural dirt roads. Symmetry is now a city. Yol has small supply lines. Trails in Midna city and in the North Oocca village. We have small supply lines in Xebo. Thematic information. The following factions declared that they are allies. The Horonians and the Fairies of Tarm. The Gorons and the Fairies of Tarm. The following factions declared a truce. The Fairies of Tarm and the wild animals. Recruitment report. We have upgraded a few units. We trained them. Manhunters in Mothulus. Princess Oocca. I have some new units too. Recruited. Manhunters. Move these troops towards Xebo in case it's attacked. Troops here too. Move them down towards Moldar. And this unit can move towards Moldar too. Need better defenses there. And Lena City can be also garrisoned. Okay, city, large city. Okay, we'll go for the large city there. We can go for change my mind. large city. It's too costly. I need to go to Old Notch. And we need a large city here. Yeah, we'll go for it in Old Notch so we can recruit the troops. Otherwise we can't recruit them. So we have the large supply lines, but we need a large city to be able to recruit the units. So we need that as soon as possible. Otherwise we are stuck with these old units, the manhunters and the raiders. If you don't want to be... You can also go for roads here. Wait a few turns here too. What? Sukuf, check her bodyguard. Experience 1. Maybe we have the armor upgrade. I'm not sure if it works on the hero. She has better defense for sure. The original unit has 5 defense. The hero now has 7. So 6, 7, 2 more defense, 1 more experience, attack 12, 3 charge bonus. As compared to the old unit has 9 attack, 3 charge bonus, so 10, 11, 3 more attack and 2 more defense. So we might actually have managed to upgrade our bodyguard. We'll have to wait here. The other units too, we want them to have upgraded armor. But we can certainly move with this unit. This army, I mean. Okay, can check this area. The Huskies are still holding this area. Husky City, Valjabun. Speak to them. Alliance trade rights. Don't need that, we need an alliance. Okay, trade rights then. They didn't want to. We can get the troops and their heroes and be able to recruit the troops if they have an alliance with us for 10 turns. Just like with the Horonians and other minor factions. Triggering is getting an alliance. End turn. We'll invade the Horonians. River Zora aren't likely to want their troops in their faction anyway, they are humans, so I think we'll invade them. We need to take the Sunken City anyway and hold it for 5 turns in order to win. And then we can take Huron too. We will probably end up fighting the fairies of town, they are dangerous, so we might hold off on the attack until at least the fairies have declared war on us. We'll take care of the Sky City next. Okay, end of turn report. Still have the strongest military construction report. Small supply lines in Crown Ridge, in Sand Crab Cove and in Mothulus. And third roads in Luna City. Recruitment report. We have some River Zora units. There's some retrained units. I retrained some units elsewhere too. Symmetry. Didn't know that. Okay. Some new troops here. We finally got something new. Manhunters, raiders, and a unit of Outrunners. The first ranged unit. So they're the ranged unit. See, they are 153, just like the Manhunters. They have 3 melee attack, 3 charge bonus. They have 3 melee attack instead of 8. So they are worse in melee. They have 1 hit point, just like the Manhunters, and they have 7 missile attack. While the others, the infantry, had 8 attack. Okay, and then they can swim. Effective against armor, so armor do not protect against the Javelins, which is really good. And good morale. The first unit of range units that we have. I want to send it to the army. Move them there. These units can move. Symmetry to defend it. You need the range units in the main army. Diplomatic information. The following factions are now at war with each other. The Lenny province and have declared war on the Gorons. The following factions have declared that they are allies. The wild animals and the order of the Visrobe. The following factions have declared their truce, the Oocca and the Goma. The following factions have declared kingdoms, abandoning their independence and sovereignty. So the wild animals have surrendered and become a vassal of the order of the Visrobe. Okay. I like that we had the armor here. Retrain. You do not need to retrain any of the unmanned hunter units. They would probably get better stats, better attack and such. We could do it, but they won't get any new look. Let's see here. Their generals. What bodyguards do they have? This general, of course. Bodyguard of River Knights. And this general. Calcutocket as the manhunters. Then we want Calcutocket to be upgraded too. Manhunter, Swampman, River Knights. Okay. Of course he will be upgraded. Need to wait here a few more turns. Could probably upgrade troops in this army too when I think about it. We will get better attack and better defense if we do it. How many troops do they have here? 1. We need to prevent them from getting more troops. I think we will move over here, this army. Year here, Sage of Time, family member of the Oocca. Not the best stats. Young Horonian peasant children laugh and this individual tries to tell them what to do. Bodyguard of Oocca's commandant, so they have a strong bodyguard at least. She doesn't have a model in battle. Her model was never released. There was a model in the Hyrule story cinematics. Okay. Need to recruit too. Okay, so we have we can upgrade the city. Let's go for the small supply lines. Okay, now we have large town. Can upgrade supply lines there too. Here we have a large town. Can go for a city there. Here we can go for some trails. And here too. And here. Okay. We still can move with diplomats. What about trade rights? They accepted. What about an alliance? Didn't want, okay. So we got trade rights with the Husky's remnants. We have this one. 100 Stalfos here. Can speak with Highlands too. Trade rights. They accepted. Oh, Agatha here. Their diplomat. Stalfos army. You need the names on here. Agatha. Malmo, the Keeper of Fate. The Mauler. Respawns when Asrilu dies. Malmo, the Keeper of Fate, really good. And the general. Under Asrilu. Riddell's bodyguard. She doesn't have a model on the map because it's a 4.6 model. It's a good model. can't speak on with more than one each turn. Okay, we will end the turn. Mothulus was really valuable. We could upgrade the troops. Better attacks, damage and defense. Armor upgrades for the manhunters, really good. They look more cool, like the officers. More badass. Won't be without clothes anymore. I mean, with hardly any clothes on. End of turn report. Vienna, the overall strongest faction again. A new dirt roads in Moon, trails in Zola and in Zola. Some Crown Ridge Gorons in the Crown Ridge area. Some manhunters have been retrained, 2 of them. Okay, Sand Crab Cove. It's the wrong settlement. We need to upgrade troops here. Lamlar armor, +3 weapons. It's a shame we can only do 2 at a time. River Knights could be upgraded. Will be even better. It's worth it to upgrade our troops. The River Zora do not have the best troops in the game. We could also attack this area. I don't believe we need more than this unit. So we'll do this. Okay. Move back with we might want the heroes' abilities there. They won't rout. Don't try to attack with that unit. I think we need a hero too. We'll move back these troops. Of course. I think it was this general. Move him over there. Manhunters. Experience 1, 0. 9 attack 3, 6. 9, 3, 6. 10, 3, 6. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they are upgraded from 5 to 6. Don't have any money to do anything there. Okay, let's go for dirt roads in Zola. Check for armies on the map. If we need to move. The Outrunners. First Javelin unit we have got them in this campaign. Shit, we have Outrunners here too. We could actually use an Outrunner unit to defend from the walls. Keep them there. One unit. Here we only have the basic stuff. Outrunners. Description. Armed with a light spear, these swift River Zora can toss their weaponry across staggering distance. Scores of outriders can spear down enemy archers on gates, while ladders and battering rams move into place. Okay. We're out of money. Ask for an alliance again. Okay, they didn't want it. Relations worse and very poor. Okay. End the turn. Go once more the diplomat through the Sand Crab Cove area. There are a lot of Oocca priests there. Okay. Really need better troops. I believe the other main factions might get their good stuff soon. We're on turn 37 after all. In the mid game soon. We have only gotten the slight upgrade from the worst pool, summon pool. So we get the Outrunners now too, in addition to the Manhunters and the Raiders. Okay, construction report. Small supply lines built in Mothulus and in the Sand Crab Cove area. Dirt roads in Yall. Recruitment. We have retrained a unit of Manhunters and a unit of River Knights at Mothulus. Border clad order to Visra over the Goma Spiders. Turn report. We are still the strongest faction, which is good. Let's move over there. Outrunners. Foreign diplomat over there. Move this army back here. Move the Oocca Zora into the settlement. Then we'll retrain troops. Maybe we could retrain King Sarosef and the other hero. We want them to get better attack. I want to check heroes that we have already retrained. So Princess Zukuf, she's experience 1, 7 total defense. She's much better now. She should have the armored upgrade if it works for heroes. Of course, it's way better defense, I believe. 18 defense. 14 attack and 4 sharp points. I think his defense is better. Maybe. Could be wrong. So let's see, we have the Manhunters have all been upgraded. Can move them out. See. Experience 1, 10 attack, 3 hit point, 3 shot bonus, 6 total defense, 1 hit points. Then we have one that didn't have the same stats, still a better defense. Same with that one. 3 of them have experience 1. Okay. Move the swampmen into the settlement. And the Geosarts, we want to upgrade them. And the Raiders. We can upgrade all of these troops. Take a while to upgrade troops. It's worth it. Okay. Need a town. Yeah, city. Need a city for that. We can go for the city here. So for retraining, we'll retrain the Zora, the Swampman, and the Geosarts next. 15, 4, 5. 14, 4, 5. So they get one more attack. Okay. I think we'll attack over here. Wait, let attack. They can't recruit if you are laying siege, so it's good that you are laying siege. Okay. Speak to the Horonians. Are they can't ask for an alliance? We don't want to give them map information for payment. Okay. 3 more turns until you have the large city. That sucks. Okay, here we need a town. City. We can upgrade this place to y'all. Town. City. We can upgrade this one too. Diplomat. Speak to the undead again. Trade rights. Accepted. Blood map information. We accepted that too. We gave them ours. Asked for theirs too. So the undead on the map. Here we have General Onox, 100 Onox. They have the Wolf Lord Masters, Officer, the Fallen Skull Kids, and the Stalken. Okay, let's say the game by the way. I don't need to redo stuff. Okay, so we have a crash. We have a Highland army under General O's staff. He's a bodyguard of Highland Infantry, the worst Highland bodyguard. Here, an army. Another one under General Belbrado, the bodyguard of Kira Minutemen, probably their worst bodyguard. We have a Stalfos army inside of Sorcarico. A lot of money. Let's end the town. Gordons want trade rights and map information. And they offer trade rights and map information you'll accept. Okay. So we got the Gordons on the map. And the Kokiri just conquered Sorcarico from the Stalfos, or at least they lay siege to it. They were laying siege, they didn't conquer it. We're almost on turn 39 now. We haven't reached the mid-game yet. I count the mid-game is probably turn 54 when Zelda 2 spawns. So we are not really there yet. But it's not really the mid-game. I believe another 79 turns is a campaign, so half of that will be like maybe 85 turns or so. Turn 85 is halfway through the campaign. Okay, construction report. Valar is now a city and Satuke village is a city. Okay. Okay. Equipment report. Retrain some troops, raiders, and manhunters. River nice and swampman. Okay. We are still the strongest faction. Outrunners have reached Mothulus almost. Relations worsened. Horonians poor because we marched through their lands. Let's upgrade these units now. Oh, I forgot to attack here, I think. You don't really need the attack, you can wait them out. You need to build. Okay, here. Town. Large town. There. Can go for this then. Town. Go for the medium supply lines here. Olara. Can also recruit some troops there. Okay, we can't do anything more. End the turn. He didn't care about moving the diplomats. Yeah, we really need to upgrade the settlements and the supply lines so we can get better troops. Armor upgrade will make the manhunters look more badass, but they only get a slight increase in armor and attack. 3 more attack and 1 more armor, or 2 more, depending on the unit. Not the best upgrade for armor, but they will look better, I think. We need elite troops. So that's why we need larger settlements and larger supply lines. End of turn report. You're number 2 now. Linear province is the strongest faction. Construction complete. Medium supply lines. Take Zola. Recruit troops there. So we need more of those. Metropolis. We can go for the large supply lines here. Okay. And about troops. Small supply lines. Medium ones. We want medium. Don't have any money for that. Okay, let's go for the dirt roads then. We can march more each turn in our homeland areas. Okay. Still diseased the Oocca and the Force of the Twilight. Recruitment, yeah. We trained some troops. Can still train the Swampman and a unit of raiders. Zora. Three, 7, 3. They can't be recruited here. Okay, retrain. Okay. Okay. General can move out. Sarasov can move out too. Experience 2. 6 attack 4. Charge bonus 8 defense. Let's move them out. They have experience 2, I believe they are upgraded already. Okay. So this force is now ready to move. They might want to save a general there too. So Xac could stay there. Okay, 1 experience point. We'll move her out down. Okay. Okay. I don't think we need any other units here. We'll wait, I think, a few more turns. No need to hurry. Down the town. We want the Oocca garrison to be as weak as possible. We can wait until they have one turn left until they give up. Then we will attack. And we'll build up the armor of the troops at Mothulus too. I know that some other factions might also get stronger if we wait, but it's worth it to get better stats for the troops. The River Zora army is really weak if you do not count the Storm Zora troops. they need better stats. Ogalon Taskmaster spawns for the Javelins at turn 41. You have a new general. Spawned here through the script. The bodyguard of Cyclops Q, Berserker is called. And we got the Cyclops Q unit as well. We spawned here and moved them to, I believe, could move them over to Old Notch. Oh, they have the dragon here. We are Mother of Tyrants. Command. So bold and confident in command. This individual could lead an angry mob to conquer an empire. We have Vipers too. So real dangerous troops here. We are sought to build this glance. Special attack. Bonus fighting cavalry. Very long range missiles. Fighting nearby enemy. Excellent morale. Can't hide. Very good stamina. It's a really huge dragon. Much bigger than the dragons we saw in a different video. The smaller ones will wake up like twins. Okay. Large city. So that's a real giant. Large city. All notch. Medium supply lines. Olara. And so the Satoki village. We have dirt roads. Dirt roads in North Toki village as well. And Crown Ridge is now a city. Okay, recruitment report. We have upgraded unit of raiders and swampmen at Mothulus. Relations versus this was very poor. They're moving in their lands. Okay, I don't really like to have troops there. Can't reach them this time. That sucked. They might be ambushed if you're unlucky. Train 2 more units of raiders. We'll move out this unit too. It's been upgraded. Can't move it out, okay. Well, I think we can place something else. Place a general. Hyrule. We'll speak to them. Map information would be good. They accepted. They got ours and we got theirs. We have Kingdom of Hyrule on the map now too. We aren't that strong. They have 4 areas. They've taken 1 area from the rebels. Malcarico. Or from the undead. I believe they took it from the undead. They had taken it previously. And I checked the map before starting to record. They have their capital, they have Lone Ranch, and they have Highly Marine. 3 areas that they started out with. They have failed to take Naldarico or lost it to the Goma. And they don't have Kakariko. Gorons took it from the Sheikah. They still hold the Shadow Temple Fort. No troops there too. Order of the Wizard still holds their capital. Okay. Path blocked. Okay. Large supply lines. Raise large city. We have a large city, that's perfect. Then we will recruit troops, actually. We'll get better troops now. I don't know exactly which ones we'll get, but they should be better than the ones we got from the medium supply lines. Small supply lines. We need troops, but we need better troops than that. Small supply lines. Small. Large supply lines in all notch. They are recruiting that already. Small. We have a city. I need a city here. Okay, we'll go for those. Upgrade to medium. Here we have small. We need better. Large supply lines. Let's go for those. We are out of money. Let's move the diplomat. We already moved this one. We can move diplomats towards Highly Marine. Check the area out. Let's speak to the Huskies again. Let's go on alliance. They don't want it, okay. Many times they surrendered too. Okay, let's just end the turn. At least for might attack now outside of Fort of Wings. They might ambush our troops there that are moving in their lands. We only have 2 units there, a hero, general and engineer general and the second Q general and the port guard. We'll have to retreat in battle. So they didn't attack. Alright, one more turn until Oocca gave up here. We'll just wait them out. Earthquake, Huron region. Salko took it. Citizen skill 0. Soldier skill 0. Shit, an earthquake here. Didn't know that could happen in this mod. Cool animations there. It's a vanilla feature. Lord have mercy, the very ground itself is torn asunder. Okay. No one died. Construction complete, large supply lines. Next Zolan. Large city. Heaven. I'm not sure these are good enough. 1,000 or 1,500. Let's Stop that and go for this one instead. Stop that one and go for this one. Okay. Take 5 turns to recruit. Okay. Some River Zora units spawning. Oh, raiders, managed to send more of the Outrunners. Move the Outrunners over there. Need them in the armies. Move these to the area of symmetry to defend. Listen, was sent a priest here. Lesser deity worshipper. They will attack soon. All of these areas can be attacked. Can attack here from Korkolok. They can also move to against Lina City, and they can move here to against Symmetry. So you're not safe. Send a unit of manhunters to Symmetry. All the supply lines. It's a city, let's upgrade. Here a medium. Large requires a large city. I can't do that, but we'll go for these. Okay. Some dirt roads in Xebolon. Train some troops here. It might probably be better to attack. Let's attack the settlement. Balance of power 27 in our favor. Heavily years each of time inside. Border of Democrat commandant. Same we saw in the previous battle. We are controlling Maxai, Archduke Nailit, and an army of Gear Macemen. Let's fight the battle on the battle map. She became quite rich thanks to the Subrosian areas, Zola and Xebo. This is the Great City of War background, loading screen, the only one that was made. I added it to Hyrule War because we have her and the land army of Great Sea in the Hyrule army in the late game. From turn 154 and onwards when the Cell-5 spawns. Let's start deployment. We will also have the Kamek mod on. This is the city in the sky. Let's start the battle. There's their plaza, the banners, and their bodyguard. So we'll do it easy. We'll just send in the Gear Macemen. No, we will first send in the Hero Maxai. Lose formation, he will attack. He won't have skirmish on. Then we'll send in the Gear Macemen. There'll be one group. They use Archduke Nailit's hero ability, so they won't ride, or at least will have better morale. Oocca Commandant with their golems. Treated a lot of gear macemen here. Walking on the clouds. It's fine. Move up here. Stop them from moving here. I want the mage to be first. We can start a fire. Kill as many as possible from afar. There. There's the River Knight, real general. Behind General Mag's model. He's an officer. We're almost at the plasma. Need to move the gear macemen a little bit closer in case they charge. I don't want the mages to die. Hero mags to die. I need to move up the infantry. They are supposed to be between the mage and the hero in case they charge the animal handlers and they get hit. A bit forward. Go there. Then we can attack with the mage. the Oocca can become really strong in the late game if they have an entire army with the lead troops, which we want to prevent. It will be too difficult. What are you doing? Stop moving, Jesus Christ. Not supposed to move that far. I don't know why they continue to move. All the way over there. Anyway, we need to move up the mage. Good attack. I didn't want them to attack the mage, fuck. We're too weakly defended here. Okay. Your amazement will have to do it. Back, Max Eye is in danger up there. Let the gear mazeman fight instead. They are numbers enough to win, I believe. They lost 10% of the entire army, killed 12% of the enemy. They only had one unit of commandants, Democrat commandants. He had an entire army of gear mazemen. 18 gear mazemen, and 1 unit of 2 units of hero, 2 units that were heroes. Normal speed on. See some of the action. Kill a lot of our gear mazemen. Mercenaries. Kills 18%, they kill 16%. Our troops. Thanks to Archer nail it, we can prevent them from routing at least to the fight to the death. So I believe we will win. Let's fast forward. So this is Lear's bodyguard. Sadly we didn't have any model for her, so this is the generic general model, which is one of these guys. They are used as generals too. Oocca has a different look, different model, like a similar model but with pink like balls and no helmet, so she looks different, and no helmet and different colors. The eyes are different too, I believe. They're pink. Look how many many they've killed. They killed 26%. We killed 42% of their troops. Yeah, we wouldn't want an entire army of these guys in the late game. Also, we get some really good golems from this place if we take it. These the troops wander out when we have the hero here. And we lost 21%, killed 61% of the enemy. Seems to have killed all their golems too. Very good. So you can see that they clearly don't have the numbers here to win. Killed 73%, lost 33%. Didn't want them to ever become too strong. If we had let them, you know, reach the late game and have an entire army, we wouldn't have been able to win. Killed the year's Age of Time. Got 2 messages, but it was 1 general. We won, but 100% of the enemy dead, but 9% of our troops were killed. We restored some troops after the battle. General Magsai, Elder of the Tempest, had 2,426. Gary Maceman and his bodyguard. Okay, lost 700. Gary Maceman in the battle. Have 1,726 troops remaining. Kill 67 Oocca, one entire unit. They lost all of them. They had only 67. The year's Age of Time died. 823 kills. They killed 823 of our troops. Healed 27 Gary Maceman and 72 Gary Maceman. Killed 11, 4, 3, 17, etc. Okay. Took this guy city good. The last area. City in the sky. We'll rename it from Sese to City in the sky. Now that we are holding it. I don't believe that Papal States faction, they do that they can be destroyed, but they do not have any areas now. Okay, you let them bang a few heads, yeah, so we get more money. Relations worse and the Kingdom of Hyrule very poor, okay, yeah, because it's the Oocca faction, the Pope faction. Save the game in case it would crash. Okay, some new troops recruited. Have an armor here too, we can upgrade troops, nice. Train. Retrain Archduke, nail it here. Let me see. 11 for defense, 11 attack, 3 charge bonus, experience 1. If we retrain him, he would have the same stats, I think. We can retrain some of these troops. So we can get the armies warriors here of the Twili. The Twilight faction was an ally of Sand faction was an ally of the River Zora, so that's why I gave them that unit from Sky City, and then the Beamers, they are actually a River Zora style armies unit. We need to Wait 5 times before you can recruit them. Okay. Small supply lines can be constructed there too. Will not. See, large supply lines will go for more. Small. Constructing there already. Large here and Zola already constructing. Okay. Supply lines, large city. Need a large city there. Turns. Okay. Large city. Go for the medium supply lines there. Okay, I think we're done there. Being retrained. Can we see 8 defense? See if anyone has less defense. No. They do have less attack, 6 attack. Some of them have 5. Okay. It's hard to know which one is upgraded or not. I think I'll move this army towards the Sunken City. Move this unit up towards the general too. We want to replace a unit with the ranged unit there. Small supply lines. Can upgrade all there. Okay. Leave an army here in Sky City. We'll move but you nail it down towards the army here. Well, Maxai can stay here, he's good. He's a defensive hero, a mage. Merge the troops by the way. Attack the Sunken City, held by Huron. Declare war on Huron. Doesn't make sense for the River Zora to have them assimilate anyway. They are not friendly to humans. Okay, let's end the town. We'll move the diplomats first. Speak to them here. No important character, okay. Couldn't see any their units either. Okay. No alliance there. Alright, let's end the turn. Might attack Mothulus. It's kind of weak now. Need to send reinforcements there, I think about it. Maybe hire some gear macemen there too. Alright, end of turn report. We are the strongest faction and have the strongest military too. Crown Ridge, medium supply lines constructed. Newin is now a large town and Zola is a city. Zola has dirt roads and Mothulus is a city. Okay. We have some new troops retrained. Oh, we forgot to move these guys. We moved them towards Volnach. Move out some troops in case they are attacked. So we have a general here. We want him to be protected. Move them towards Volnach. We'll recruit more troops here in the large supply lines. Large supply lines, they require a large city. So need a large city there. Have medium, can go for 4 turns. I will go for some River Zora units there. Medium supply lines. Requires a city. Go for that. I have no money. I will check for troops. What these troops down there? Outrunners. Well, and a Hyrule merchant here. We can't use the resources. We have no merchant. We have a fairy merchant here already. So we can't use the merchant. We have no merchant, which sucks. Okay, the River Zora only have diplomats, no other agents. Over there. Preparation to attack Huron. Move this unit. General can move out. Hire a bunch of you don't have any money there. Okay. How many units do we need? 9. That's dangerous to leave the general there. We will not move him this time. Right, diplomats. Zelda 1 is still here. Okay, so Princess Zelda here in London Ranch. She's the only one there. She's a bodyguard of castle guards. Okay, let's move towards their capital. There's Zora. Map information would be good. No, I don't want to give you map information. Could have ceasefire. Trade rights. Didn't accept. Okay. Here we have General Shrekus and Benonuta, the bodyguard of Zora infantry. For both of them. Then they had the main Supremes, the best infantry. Some really good Sapphire Warden mages, they're good against the infantry. More Supremes and Wardens. They already have their best infantry. 15 attack, 1 shot bonus, 10 defense. Okay, Spire's command and nearby troops can do skill room, can save excellent morale. Our infantry, if we compare. Waivers. The manhunters have 10 attack now, experience 1. Still waivers. Swampmen have similar attack, waivers defense, 5 defense. Did they have 10 defense? They have twice as much defense. Same attack. I forgot to move out to nail it there. Not good, he's alone. If he's attacked, we'll retreat in battle, so he will survive. I'll need to go and eat very soon. I think we'll end the video at the start of the next battle of the Sunken City, but I might actually include that in the episode. It might not be the end of the episode, we'll see. Either I make a shorter episode, because the first episode was at 8 hours, 30 minutes, and this one is probably at 2 hours, 2.5 hours now, 3 hours, 2 hours at least. But if you want it to be longer, I might continue. Or we'll end it at the start of the next battle. End of turn report. We are still the strongest faction. In Moldar we have small supply lines constructed in Oocca village with small supply lines, and in Xebo we have medium supply lines, and in Seshe we have small supply lines. Okay. Some River Zora units. Soon and the Gerard are allies now. If that alliance lasts for 10 turns, they might join them. Okay. By the way, can rename Seshe to city in the sky. We'll do that. We have small supply lines here. And we can construct the small supply lines here too. Recruit more troops there. Need more troops. Back 2 units. General could be moved back. Move this general up instead. And unit could be moved back too. Raiders. Okay. wait one turn for Archduke nail it, but we could probably attack this guy, this army. 5 units of Huron soldiers there, probably revolted, or River Zora and the Horonians, Relations first and Horonians, Abysmal. Good. We are ready there. Can train some troops there. Raiders. Do that. This army will move back to... Oh, not you did. Now with a Cyclops Q unit and a General Cyclops Q guy. It's a River Zora General. River Zora Knight General, but with Cyclops Q bodyguard. Large supply lines require large city. Don't have one. Wait one turn. And turn, I think. So we're moving troops outside of their capital. Alright. We have 16 regions controlled. Relations worse and fears of town poor. We attacked their ally, the Horonians. Very trained manhunters, raiders. City and Mothulus. Tracking complete medium supply lines. Y'all. The town report, seen this before. Okay, we'll start with moving these troops back to Mothulus. Retrain a unit of raiders. And then as for their troops, we have the small supply lines. Medium requires city, we have we can construct that now. In the sky we're still constructing. Okay. Crown Ridge. We can recruit some new troops there. Large supply lines, large city. Let's go for a large city. Upgrade. Need a large city here too, but we do not have any money. Okay. Move to Kingdom of Hyrule's capital. We have General Valhansen here, the bodyguard of Highland Infantry. And we have the Archer Knights and Highland Infantry troops. Very few units there. Let's move over there. Now move in with Archduke Nail it. We can attack here. 6-1 in our favor. 5 units. Set the game before the battle. And I think we will fight this battle during this episode, but we'll pause the game here. I need to go and eat. The clock is like 13:03 in the middle of the day, Swedish time. I believe it's Thursday, 17th. No, it's actually Saturday. I thought wrongly. It's Saturday, the 20th, 2023, I think. Okay. So we will fight this battle. No, 19 it says here. Saturday 19th, I think. Yeah, Saturday 19th. Okay. Save again. Hog 19. Army strength 63. King Saros FF 2472. River Zora. 1 unit of Stormbringer mages. All the unique heroes are here except Magpie. All the ones with unique custom strat models. Magpie doesn't have a strat model because he's a 4.6 unit. They are more demanding to the game. Would require rigging. Enemy has 5 units of wooden soldiers. 6 attack, 3 charge bonus, 8 total defense, good morale and good stamina. You'll easily win. See you soon. Bye.